Welcome to the bold analysis. I am not shocked that Miguna has been left out of the team that is going to face the panel. They just shortlisted candidates to take over from Nurdin Haji as the DPP, Director of Public Prosecutions. So the list just came this evening, and Miguna is amongst the 33 that has been left out for that have been left out. 15 have been shortlisted for the DPP post, and they will face the interview panel. And he has also responded just this afternoon, saying this. He has just responded saying, I am aware that when you apply for something with others, you can get or not get what you sought. So not having been shortlisted or appointed for the position of DPP was part of the possible outcomes of my application, and I have no regrets having applied for it. Let me explain for you. There are these 4 reasons why Ruto will not dare even touch Miguna. Think of Miguna for that position. Number 1, Miguna lacks political capital he is bringing on table. Some of these positions, or rather government positions, looking at what has been happening in the past, especially in the UDA, in the KK regime, these positions have also been dished out in terms of, and then they're put strategically as bargain, as political bargain. That is why during the recent homecoming ceremony of PS Raymond Omolo, we were actually told that that is a position that was given for the community. And whenever state officials move to different regions, there is normally the tendency of Rigathi Gachagua parading individuals and saying the way individuals that have been appointed in government, and saying that those have been appointed to show that the government cares for the people of that region. Now, what that shows you here is even the position of DPP, immediately they will be appointed. You will see Ruto and the KK team taking credit that so and so has been given that position, and so that community should look at it, should consider KK as caring for them. Now, Miguna lacks the political capital because I think Ruto has also realized, even in the wake of these protests, political aggression that have been going on, that Miguna is the last person you can bank on to bargain for the Luo vote. I don't really see him as someone that you can go and parade in Kisumu or in Homa Bay or in Migori and say that I've given one of your sons this position. Remember, a position like that, Miguna is already a persona non grata. Let me say, he's already seen as an enemy amongst even his constituents. And because he's a bit unpopular and very confrontational with the political leadership, not going against the political leadership in Nyanza, he lacks the bargaining power, or he lacks that political capital. Number 2, the double M is a perfectionist. It's a man who believes things should always be straight and no corners around it. And even those who are in the interview panel knows very well that his lobbying potential is weak. You know, positions are not just, many other factors are given, but there is lobbying. Even as we speak, there are people that are lobbying in different forms, making night calls that talk to Rais, you should be given this. The people that are also maybe even using cash to bribe their way. using different who and whose matter, trying to talk to who and who matter in this government. So Miguna lacks that network, number one. Even if he wants to lobby to the president, how does he make his way? Who does he use? The Nyanza MPs that are having a working relationship with William Ruto have not been doing their best, and they are not really in the decision-making table. So Miguna lacks the potential of lobbying, and even the intention to lobby. When it reaches a point that the person to be appointed have to part with some personal fortune, I wonder whether Nyando would actually board. That is where he would stop the process. When some money is supposed to exchange hands, that is a point that he will leave. And in fact, if you dare try to ask him for personal fortunes, even though he knows that it's something that is happening, he might even actually come out and expose you. You know? So that is it. Him is saying that the interview panel that wants to interview us, would someone dare interview Miguna? You know, by the way, let's not even think beyond that. Who wants to interview him? Because he's full of himself, has a lot of entitlement, and also has a tendency of profiling others. That interview panel will be used to profile anything and anyone who can be profiled. And probably they also avoided that because he can outshine everyone in that interview. Until you get to a situation where, okay, fine, if you've not appointed him, then it's like you just refused. The third reason why Ruto will avoid Miguna as a plague is because him being a victim of human rights violation, he will not play lean politics, especially on matters human rights violation. Whatever is happening, you know, government, I think, when Ruto came through, government is run by the deep state, and there is also an open state. There is the fifth state. The fifth state is the dark forces. You know, people talk about the fourth estate. But there is the fifth state, which is the dark forces. There are some things that, that is what other people explain by saying, kwamba serikali iko na mkono mrefu. You know, serikali iko na mkono mrefu is a statement that is used to describe that fifth state. That government can go out of its way, can do everything, you know. Someone was saying, I saw an Azimio Njoroge saying here, that those who are at risk of arrests, if you're Azimio and you're at the risk of arrest, you need to consider doing the following. And Kenyans of goodwill have been responding to him. I don't know, you must have an iPhone. Yes, he's been sharing something here. If you're an Azimio principal, Raila Kalonzo Karua, supporter Lai, Babu, Maurice Ogeta, then the following, your mobile device must be an iPhone. All your mobile devices must be running the most recent version of iOS. Password, no. And people responded there by saying that even if you do all that, the sixth state will still get you. So that's what Miguna is. Miguna cannot do lean politics. If it's a point someone is supposed to face prosecution, that person will face prosecution no matter what. And you will find him not so much. And you know, there's some positions that you need some sort of leaning. You know, someone should not lie to you that there is non-interference. You know, someone should not lie to you that there is non-interference. There are cases going on, some criminal cases, some economic crime cases. But it is upon, these files are lying somewhere. When sometimes the fifth state wants you to be leaning, they just grab one file. Now the leaning politics is bit. The other third aspect, the risk of picking him and he's been a victim of human rights violation, is that he would actually dig the graves. Yes. He He will dig the grave. The next morning he will ask for the file of Musando. The next morning he will ask for the file of so-and-so, so-and-so. He will ask for the file against Uhuru Kenyatta's officers, people who worked under Uhuru Kenyatta. And he will actually dig the graves. And that is why Ruto is very keen that he's not the kind of man that can be brought there. Lastly, Miguna is very chaotic. And will easily cross paths with everyone, including and starting with Ruto himself. If investigation is done on his side very fast, the file forwarded to court, it's delaying, and the judge is doing this, he would actually intervene on that end and blame. Will it be something that executive is calling and is saying, let's do this, or an MP wants some favor, and because he's a KK MP and fails on that, it will cause chaos. And will not even risk losing the job if losing the job is what it will cost. So that's why I really see that with that, he will actually expose Ruto's underbelly. Thank you very much. Let's meet in the next.